Mason was a troubled adolescent. He had always been fascinated by fire, from the way it flickered and danced to the heat it produced. But as he got older, his fascination turned into an obsession. He would spend hours watching videos of fires online and would often sneak out of his house at night to light small fires in nearby fields. Mason's parents were at a loss as to how to help their son. They had tried everything from grounding him to taking away his phone, but nothing seemed to deter his dangerous behavior. Finally, they decided to seek the help of a mental health professional. After a series of assessments, Mason was diagnosed with pyromania. The therapist explained to his parents that pyromania was a rare disorder characterized by a persistent urge to set fires. Mason had all the classic symptoms, from the intense emotional and psychological need to light fires to the sense of pleasure he felt when he did so. The therapist also explained that while the exact causes of pyromania were not fully understood, it was likely that Mason's early childhood experiences had played a role in his disorder. Mason had grown up in a household where his parents were often absent due to work, leaving him feeling neglected and alone. This sense of isolation and lack of attention had likely contributed to his fascination with fire. With the diagnosis in hand, Mason and his parents began a course of treatment. Mason started attending cognitive behavioral therapy, which helped him identify and change his thoughts and behaviors. He also began taking medication, which helped regulate his mood and reduce his impulsivity. At first, Mason was resistant to therapy. He was angry and felt like he was being punished for something that he couldn't control. But over time, he began to see the benefits of therapy. He learned techniques to manage his urges to set fires, such as deep breathing and positive self-talk. He also learned to recognize the triggers that led him to want to light fires, such as feelings of boredom or loneliness, and developed alternative coping mechanisms, such as reading or listening to music. As he progressed in therapy, Mason began to see the positive changes in his life. He stopped sneaking out at night to light fires, and he started to reconnect with his family and friends. He even began to enjoy spending time doing activities that didn't involve fire, such as hiking and playing video games. But despite the progress he was making, Mason's journey wasn't without setbacks. There were times when he slipped up and lit small fires, but he always told his therapist about it and worked to understand what had triggered his relapse. Over time, the relapses became fewer and farther between. Finally, after months of therapy and medication, Mason was able to graduate from treatment. He had learned to manage his urges to set fires and had developed a new set of coping mechanisms to deal with his feelings of loneliness and boredom. He was proud of the progress he had made and looked forward to a future where he could live a life free from the dangerous consequences of pyromania. In conclusion, pyromania is a serious disorder that requires professional treatment. With the help of cognitive behavioral therapy and medication, people like Mason can learn to manage their impulses and avoid the dangerous consequences of fire-setting behaviors. While the journey may not be easy, with appropriate care and support, people with pyromania can learn to live a fulfilling life free from the chains of their disorder.